Hello, 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 hello. I am Snuffleupagus, and you are here because you love yourself some Fury of Dracula. And we are about to watch a tournament game between Randiv as the hunters and my teammate Misthios in this team's tournament game. I'm not here by myself today. I have my good buddy Fangs of Fire, also known as Blazoned. Say hello, Fangs.
But you say, despite the fact that it is my teammate who is fighting yours,
Indeed, indeed it is. Oh,
we are each here to keep the other in check as to biased commentary.
yep. Between you and me, we're going to average each other out in terms of our rooting interests here. I'm just gonna make sure this stream is going well and everything's looks like it's all copacetic. All right, let's go. I'll be
Yeah,
checking on the chat. We got a crowd of 7 people watching. Looking forward to an exciting match.
yes, we appear to have a superhero start with Kajik's brand of it, uh, rather than Scott Swords. We got us Mina's first cards, Holy Bulls, and Planned Ambush. Interesting.
All
Yeah,
right.
let the week one supply train get rolling.
Yep, it's coming fast and coming. There's many supplies coming at us real fast here. But yeah, it's good to point
Mm,
out Plant Ambush. That's a pretty good one for Dracula to know about.
yes, but at the same time, it acts as a deterrent for him to try anything funny, especially when it's with Mina. Uh, like if, for instance, if he learned of it through a spy, for some reason or another, uh, well, on some other hunter, I mean, that's just stay away from that hunter because it's not unless that hunter got weakened somehow. Mina, on the other hand, of course, starts weakened, so but uh, that's just a powerful tool for her. Uh, Very nice for survival.
Yeah. So here we are in the first few weeks, as we were saying. There's a lot of supplying going on. Usually around this time, Dracula likes to set down a vampire, get ready to mature, get some early points. But when you have Mina by herself with a superhero start, Mina being a weaker hunter, sometimes Dracula's tempted to just go for an aggressive start. I definitely agree with you. Having planned ambush, right out there in Dracula's face is a bit of a deterrent. So it'll be interesting to see if
Yeah.
that affects my teammate Misthios' calculus or not.
Well, one thing that Isios may well try is laying down a hoax, as with three in the discard already and one on top. Hoax is already looking a bit juicy.
Yeah, yeah, I would definitely want a hoax right here if there's 3 Dracula cards in the discard. That's pretty darn good.
Yeah, and definitely going to be at least four. Uh, because why would they stop supplying now?
So we're going right into this. I have a quick question for our viewing public here. Scott Sword and Jordy, welcome to both of you, and welcome to Captain Gyro. Scott Sword and Jordy, what does some high mean? Fangs, do you know what some high means? I'm looking at the chat.
So, high?
SOM-HI.
Uh, Admittedly, I do not know much about Spanish, so no, I don't. I
All
will
right,
admit.
guess we'll see. So we got some trading, early trading between Helsing and Godalming. Interesting.
That's not at all unusual.
Yep.
I mean, just early housing trading in general is not uncommon. Hmm. Okay, doing the standard misdirect.
Standard Misthios misdirect. Mysterious, mysterious, Misthios misdirect. As some of our community may know, Misthios came in here shrouded in mystery as surprise secret competitor, uh, only to have his to reveal his identity dramatically in the official first public Immortal update release YouTube stream in a game he did with, I want to say, Jamie Philly. And his identity was revealed as none other than Roscoe, uh, staple of this community for a
Yeah.
long time.
Yeah.
So this game is
So yeah,
Randiv
in
vs.
terms
Roscoe.
of yeah, as a random, he's been around for over a year at least, if not longer. Uh, he and apart he is in terms of like how well each of these players has been faring. We of Team WildLife, Randiv and I, are currently standing at precisely 50-50 win loss. Uh, and actually, Randiv has won slightly more than I have. Uh, and he has only lost to members of the Pirate Wizard and El Grandes Doll so far.
That's a
Uh,
pretty good record.
yeah, I have not been as lucky, although last time our teams crossed paths, Misthios was your hunter, and I successfully evaded him. But, uh, but then again, uh, this is with no evil presence on turn one revealing Dracula. This could be tricky for my teammate.
Yeah, Misthios, so he is only.
Oh,
Ooh,
nice one. Nice.
okay. Two Dracula
Mystic
cards.
research.
So
That's probably what he was fetching off Gul'daming.
that makes a lot of sense. So
Yeah.
Randall's going to have 4 free night supplies if he so chooses.
However, if there's a hoax and it goes through, look at that. There's a wild horses, but also, more importantly, a darkness return. So if there's a hoax that goes off, uh-oh,
That
that would
Darkness
be
Returns is going to be
very.
quite tempting.
Yeah, they're guaranteed at least one high tier Dracula event. Uh, so that's definitely scary.
Indeed. Well, scary for you. An exciting prospect for me as the as Misthios' biggest cheerleader here.
Eh,
So, um, we of Team Transatlantic Transylvanians are 5-9 right now, 2 games behind you. But I would say our record's a little bit more lopsided. I have not won a game yet, which is a little bit rough. When there's an elephant in the room, introduce him. Misthios slash Roscoe has won 5 of his, including 2 wins versus Scotsword, which is pretty darn cool. And as you mentioned, you were his one of his 2 losses, and it was
yeah.
and one of
Eh,
those 2 losses was the only game this tournament where he has played Hunters. So he's got
yes.
a 5-1 record as Dracula this tournament, which is pretty impressive. He definitely
Yes.
knows what he's doing.
And which does remind me of the fact that it'll be your turn to try to catch me. Yeah, and after what happened just yesterday, it makes me wonder whether or not you shall.
Yeah, no, we'll see. You and I are going to play each other Tuesday evening U.S. time, so it'll be quite uh,
Yes,
a later one
I
for our
kn-
European friends.
yes,
Should be a good
we
match.
settled. I believe we settled on around what was it 6:30 Eastern time.
Correct. So it'll
So
be our game will be
so
10:30
so
UTC.
So, our European friends, if you want some Tuesday evening entertainment before bed, come watch.
Yep, we'll
Doubtless Snuff and Doubtless Snuff and I will be uh, recording our separate perspectives, but we, as of yet, do not have a neutral recorder. So,
So it's interesting here that we haven't seen any search cards,
any
correct? I don't think I've seen
yeah,
any.
not the slightest one. The
No hired
only
scouts, no news reports yet. Although,
mind you, they he might, due to that mystic research, he might choose to do some night supplying, try to fetch a newspaper, as this is newspaper day.
yeah, as I understand
We
it, there
might.
is some disagreement about whether you should use those night supplies immediately or not. Um,
It
when
always
when you get
depends
them
on the
early.
situation.
Yeah, certainly if I'm trying to fish for a horse early on, as is somewhat common, I would be more inclined to use it. But I also
Oh,
certainly
you
understand
choose.
the idea of saving for after a hunter loses a weapon or something.
Okay, Mina. By the way, a slight update. Mina's showing some doggies now.
Yeah.
Not. I must say they definitely you look like your channel picture.
I suppose so. Uh, kind of missing the trunk, aka the snuffle, but uh, it's a little bit similar color. So where do we think Dracula is right now? Misthios likes to mix it up a little bit. Um,
I honestly don't know. Seeing as we don't have the slightest clue yet, it could be Eastern, could be Central, could it even be up in England? Ah, remembering the second thing. Okay, so we seem to have a hoax, maybe something along the lines of hoax bodyguards, uh, followed by a vamp. Uh, Sometimes I even choose to put a spy before or my first vamp. Ridiculous as that might seem.
oh, so we got some commentary in the chat. Captain Gyro saying that some high is an interjection similar to come on or let's go. Jody says it's more similar to come on. Okay, makes sense. Well, we have come on and we are going, so we're rocking and rolling here. It's gonna be exciting to
Yeah.
see if we have a newspaper reports here, or if Randiv will have to keep on fishing for one. I didn't
Well,
in my last game. I didn't draw a newspaper until Tuesday of week 2. So on my side, rooting
uh,
for Dracula here, I'm gonna fingers crossed that we have something similar. You can balance me out on that
well,
dream.
I well, of course. Obviously, I hope a newspaper today to reveal the rumor token. Well, there's actually a debate. Would you do dawn or dusk, or would you show the rumor token? That's actually a reason a decent question because if he put a rumor token there, presumably that first thing is a hoax. So which do you prefer to go through? A hoax when you have already 11 Drac events, one of them being Darkness Returns in the discard, or do you prefer uh, to immediately reveal the what's it called? Oh, Evil Presence. Oh, Spain.
All right, this is
Apparently he's following my
familiar.
example.
Well,
Apparently he's
unfortunately
following my
for
example.
me, Mina has dogs, which can be quite helpful in clearing the trail. Um,
Misthios parroting Scott's sword as
hola. So, Captain Gyro in the chat suggested that spy before first vamp could be interesting. You either swipe the weapon or learn if they have a stake. Sets up to fight the vampire afterwards.
yeah, that's part of why I consider it sometimes worth my while
Yeah.
to it depends on exactly what type of hand I got and just what happens. What's hunter setup am I up against? Yada yada. Every situation is unique, and or mostly at least.
Yeah, certainly if that first one is not a hoax spy as possible. I also really like bodyguards first, if it's an option.
Yeah,
It gives
those are the primary things that will beat a vampire for first encounter.
yeah,
Uh,
that can
I
give
mean, of
Dracula
course,
some security.
things were different yesterday. When I started off with Desecrated Soils, I but I did that because before I had the chance to land the counter, Scotsword drew Evil Presence day one. So I decided. So my thinking there, like you may know this already if you watched my the video, my perspective, it but my thinking was just I'll just lay down a string of trash events that have been running around, showing me stuff plus and or giving me cards to cycle in the case of uh in in the event of what's it's called uh oh you got us a Knight's Class of Seward. Not sure if that was the first one, but
Yeah, I've not been counting.
I think that was the first one, as there has been a lot of Van Helsing trading plus I mean chat correct us if we're wrong. Is anyone else been keeping real count? Van Helsing giving me pop giving slash hmm. I suppose it's difficult to say. Hey, what?
I think I've seen Randiv do this before and lose count a couple of times. So I'm gonna we'll see if that becomes an issue again.
Yeah,
Some folks in this community will type it in the chat how many night supplies or safe night supplies are left when they have a mystic research.
yeah.
Um,
That's
that can help
that's one.
counteract that a little bit.
That's a habit I learned from Wakajic. Mind you, Mystic I've become basically the Team Drac player, so I never get Mystic research. Wow.
Captain Gyro says that Misthios was lucky that it was not local rumors rather than evil presence, which is true.
That's that is true.
Certainly if he's doing a circle Mina strategy, that is true.
Yeah,
Although Roscoe slash Misthios can also try to get clever with this.
yeah,
He
but
might not
here,
have spent the whole time in Spain.
yes, he could have done something like I don't know, Geneva is the first spot, and then only like just stepped next to her in
Interesting.
Saragossa.
And
Wolf
now
form.
he wolf forms.
That leads me to believe that actually that's not the case. That he was playing Ring around the Mina, uh, and he did that to either jump over Granada, which is a CG nuke spot, uh, or trying to get into more central. He either got that too early, or chose to save it. Toulouse.
Starts in Toulouse. Okay. Toulouse, Toulouse.
Huh. We've
So,
got we got a stake in the Discord, by the way.
interesting. So if that is a hoax, well, Mina could get to it today and then also deal with the vamp the following turn. Um,
She can't. Well, if she has a horse or sense of emergency, she can. But you can't rail to Toulouse, so
correct. Certainly, from my perspective, um, getting a hoax mature is great, but getting the rumored vamp mature is great, especially when it's going to clear the wolf form. So I'm
yes,
really
and yet at the
hoping
same
that one or
time,
both of them will mature, but it's quite possible here that Mina may be able to handle both. We shall see.
it's possible. And yes, we shall indeed see. But on the other hand, if Mia does not have a stake and that's a hoax, she'll get delayed, and therefore, or will be unable to deal with the rumored vamp. Uh,
Although in this case, yeah, Seward can also just get there
head
as
on
well.
down.
Yeah,
Yeah, do you move Van Helsing off? I mean, really it would depend on whether Van Helsing is reasonably equipped yet. Uh, I don't know. Okay, Randa thinks so. Okay, does Mina have a horse? And is the horse economy ready?
Random is probably thinking, where to next?
Where
Does he
would
go to?
where would Drac have been to be? Let me see. It was the one before he wolf formed that the evil presence was drawn, right?
I'm not sure. I was wondering about that because I'm wondering how many, like when he would have had to go from Toulouse into Spain if he, but I don't remember off the top of my head.
My guess here would be he went Toulouse, Bordeaux, Santander, and or no, I it is hard to say. I think that perhaps as one who does do something of a Spaniard search frequently, or at least one of my favorites. Uh, okay. Oh,
So Captain Dry was saying he was betting Barcelona with Hyde, which makes a lot of sense. Okay.
it could also be Bordeaux, Santander, Saragossa. Okay, so therefore, I mean, obviously, she's gonna get batted away from Toulouse, and it will be delayed the following day, so she won't be able to get to it.
I will
So,
say hiding in Bordeaux is a very Misthios thing to do, and it would be quite effective here, especially with that bats right there.
you mean Barcelona?
Yes, hiding in Barcelona. Good, good correction. You want to put up some encounters to block Mina. Yeah, yep, I agree, Captain Gyra. So,
Hmm. Yeah. He so he needs Seward to address Toulouse, if he gets to address it at all.
yes, and a bad horse draw could stop that. So, I want to fingers crossed for that. You have to imagine that if Seward can get there, he will get there.
Yeah, I mean, I could even see him using a sense of emergency instead of risking a horse rule. Uh,
Although I will
even
say it's
though
also possible that that could also be another badge or a saboteur.
interesting. Okay, I think that this is a okay. So that means that it is a hide at Barcelona.
Yep, it has to be.
Yeah, I would have shoved her back into Madrid personally. Uh, so as to keep the obscurity, unless he
I
will
bet he
forward it
wants
further
to.
into Spain.
I bet he wants to be off the rail. Well, further down the rail line and also on a small city. That's kind of what he's thinking. He's got to be assuming that now the jig is up. Like it. I mean, he's got to be betting on the fact that there's not going to be anything that can be done about the rumored token, which may be a little bit of a risk because, as we were saying, a sense of emergency could not only get Seward to Toulouse, but could also get Seward to Barcelona.
Yes, and yet, well, yes and no, because if this is a hoax, then all he has to do is fetch Darkness Returns, and then he used Darkness Returns, and they can't go anywhere, and Rune Token goes scot free. So if that is a hoax, then this is looking for like a very good start for Misthios.
Yeah, I'm feeling good about this. It's the only open question is what is Seward gonna do?
Take it in during the day, huh? Okay, I
He wants
suppose
trouble
horse economy. Yeah,
in horse
he's
economy. Yep,
trying to
looking
do
for
that
those
before
white
Seward
ones.
chances it. Doing that before Seward chances it.
Interesting. not
Alright,
even
so
trying.
this is well, it's possible that Sir doesn't even have one.
Yep,
Uh,
possible.
After all, they've only gone through about half the item deck, possibly slightly more.
Well, that's good news for me because Mina's not clearing Toulouse, and Helsing ain't clearing Toulouse, so Toulouse has got to mature. Now we just have to see what that encounter is. And it's also very possible, knowing Misthios' style, that that could be just another batch or a saboteur, which would be probably the best case scenario for your team right now.
Yeah.
Uh, so, Aruki and Captain Jaro are asking if you moved the microphone away from your head or something. Thanks. I
What?
guess your
Why?
sound got a little
Why
odd.
you ask?
Apparently your sound's a little off.
That better?
I do not have the technical know-how to fix this, so we're just gonna have to power on through. But hopefully, whatever you just did may have helped. And I don't know. Are you watching the chat yourself? Thanks.
No.
All right, I got it on my phone off to the side. Haruki says congrats again on the win.
Yes, thank
Well
you.
deserved.
It was
States.
definitely a hard fought battle.
Echoey. Um, this is a little odd. I wonder if this is a bug or something because there's nothing really for Helsing to do other than land right now since he is in the English Channel. So,
Yeah. Wonder what's going on with that.
no rule bug? Rule bug. Oh,
Okay,
okay.
no. There
Moving
it
on.
is. Alright. Don't don't know what that was about, but
So you're getting some recommendations to try the old turning your mic off and back on again. The old
alright.
standby. Have you tried turning it off and back on again?
Is that better?
Uh, only our audience will know. I hear you just fine.
Eh,
All right. We got another night supply for Godalming.
yeah. Which is actually a good idea to get it in now, because if that, in the event that is a hoax, that ruins the Mystic research. So it's actually correct, in my opinion, to go for at least one or two now.
I certainly agree. Yep. If there's a chance that that's a hoax, and there certainly is a chance that that's a hoax, use it. Use it or lose it.
Okay, garlic and a crucifix. Evil presence.
That's
Whoa!
going to be helpful.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
that helps your team a lot.
Yeah. It's possible that perhaps Randiv may want to, in a certain sense, follow Scotsword's example and try to make a beeline straight for him, like Scotsword did in our match with me. He, uh, I mean, that's not completely accurate, but point being that he could try to just ignore the that business. So let me see. Saragossa. That means in order for him to be next Van Helsing now, that means that he either went to Bordeaux or Clermont-Ferrand with the wolf form.
Yep. So
So
he's
the
either in Nantes or Paris.
Paris or not. Yeah, that tells them a lot. That tells Brandon a lot.
Yeah, which is going to
Uh,
make it a Darkness Returns draw on Toulouse hoax, if that is what that is, all the more useful. Whenever you have a tool to help you create distance between hunters who know your location, that's something the Drac's going to want to use.
Yeah, I mean, unearthly swiftness would also do the job, and would be, for that matter, be even better. Apologies for that background noise you likely just heard. My youngest sister definitely does like to put up a stampede out there sometimes. Uh,
Interesting. So Randiv is thinking about what to do with Helsing, presumably considering his trade options, which uh,
he's possibly also thinking of how many night supplies have I done, because he's actually made that mistake this tournament. Uh, with Mystic Research before.
he's got lots to think
So
about now that he knows Dracula's location down to two spots. And as you're saying, right, he has night supplies he can use and could lose if he doesn't. There's lots of balance. And as you were saying earlier, right, he's going to go into a situation where he can decide to either clear the trail or start going for Dracula directly. There's a lot of things that, a lot of different approaches Randiv can take here. And I can understand if he takes a little
well,
time to weigh those many options.
yeah, obviously, I mean, if Misthios does choose to do the Darkness Returns option, then there will be practically uh, nigh zero trail to clear, which will be, and that's going to be the hard part for Misthios if he goes that route. I mean, it's very common in Dracula problem. When your first rumored vamp does mature, uh, then then I mean, even when it's with the hunters having no information beforehand, I mean it tells the hunters what area you started in. It it clears off most of the next it clears off the next batch of trouble, so they have some extra time to see where you left off. But in this case, the hunters know where you left off. Uh oh, okay. So this will be interesting.
All right, what is it going to be
What is
introduced?
what is it? I suspect it's a hoax, but yeah, he's maturing it, whatever it is.
It's a
Mob.
mob. Interesting.
Intriguing, yeah.
So that's going to ding Seward and
And Van Helsing,
Helsing,
yeah.
which will be helpful if they were trying to, if the hunters were
Van
thinking
Helsing,
of,
Van Helsing choosing to toss a garlic wreath.
yep,
Can't
can't blame
say I
them for
blame him
that,
for that.
yeah.
I mean, it is useful for like keeping to keep Dracula guessing. So I honestly do disagree a little bit with that. I
So that might dissuade the hunters from doing an attempt to immediately hit Drac.
I
Maybe.
mean, yes. I I will no, I will say that the possibility of there being a fog there under the hide card uh could definitely be obnoxious for the hunters. I don't think I've ever seen a mob as starting card except when you just got a complete junk for your start hand, like nothing but rats, the mobs, and it like I will say that definitely surprised me.
Yeah,
Definitely was not what I was expecting.
interesting. Hmm. It makes you wonder if Dracula wanted to be found and was initially planning on going for a kill Mina strategy before being found out.
Um, I don't know. The fact that there was that uh that planned ambush has been sitting there ever since the very first day. That would definitely dissuade him a little bit from trying that.
True.
So,
It's very possible that was the original approach, and then everything is just kind of cut against that strategy, which the old
yeah,
Mike Tyson line, everyone's got a plan until you get punched in the
okay.
face.
Okay, well, we know what that's gonna reveal. I'm not.
Yeah,
Randiv has told me that I am just quicker on the uptake when it comes to figuring out the trail. I wish wish that wasn't wish I that wasn't the case, but
so yeah, the only way I can justify using that newspaper returns is if you were expecting to replace it with something else immediately.
yeah,
And I'm not sure that's the
possibly.
case with Dracula card face up.
It's also possible that you just wanted an extra slot because I don't. Who is it that played that? By the looks of things, Helsing.
What you and I are saying the same things. I'm just maybe expressed in a different
Yeah.
way. Captain Gyro says that the mob in Toulouse could be useful as a first mature potentially because the best case scenario is that you can soften up the hunters who are after the trail and would still need to deal with the vampires. I think that's right, but
Okay.
maybe the case here.
All
Okay,
right.
bad horse straw for Godalming. I'll
Well,
take that.
at least not a glue ticket.
True. And certainly it's
And
not a bad place to be
belonging
when you're
is
being in Munich is
it
never a
per
bad place for a hunter.
yeah. Munich is definitely a solid location. So, if Mina has a ticket that's big enough to. Mina could simply ticket if she has a 3-2 to get to Barcelona. And since she has dogs, the only thing that could stop her from it. The only. There's only bats and uh, fog that would be able to stop her from getting at the vampire. Uh, and we've already seen A bats, so that's less likely. Still possible, of course, but less likely.
Yeah, the problem with damaging hunters is that Dracula doesn't gain much value from it if he simply flees ASAP. Yeah, I think that's right, Captain Gyro.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not sure why he went to Geneva.
I guess he's going for the find Drac and kill him immediately strat, regardless of the damage. Or, as you were saying, maybe he's going to rely on Mina alone to handle that rumor token.
Yeah, because with those dogs, she can deflect she can deflect some of the stuff that would stop her.
Yeah, so certainly Mina's best case scenario would be that that's like a saboteur or something.
Yeah.
Say a saboteur and an aristocratic, that'd be golden for Mina. I think her worst case scenario is either, as you said, a bats or a fog, although getting rid of one of those early is not the worst situation for hunters. Or if uh, there's a fighting vamp under there and she doesn't have a stake, that would be the other negative.
Yeah.
Although if she doesn't have a stake, why wouldn't you use Seward? You know.
Well, the possibility that Seward might not have one. There's still 11 cards in the pile, one stake in the discard. I imagine that either Goldaming or Seward, if not both, have a stake.
Interesting movement all
Uh,
around.
yeah. Why?
Yeah,
Yeah,
why?
I'm not sure I understand his thinking here.
Hey, hey! I'm happy about that. Bad horse draw means Mina is not getting to Barcelona, which means that rumor token is going to mature, and my boy Dracula is going to get his wolf form card back.
However, not before they discover the location.
That is helpful
Fortunately,
to Dracula.
so that means that it's not since it was after the car his previous location to where he is now was next to Le Havre,
That means
and
Dracula is either in Paris or in Clermont-Ferrand right now.
yeah,
He
he's
went
getting
Bordeaux
he's getting semi
and now it's to
surrounded.
Paris or if I
But the
were
thing is, with this mature, he could wolf form back down to Spain if he wanted to. Uh, although if it's Clermont-Ferrand, that is. Uh, but honestly, why would you do that? I'm pretty dang sure it's Paris. Uh, I will definitely be surprised if he chose to go Clermont-Ferrand. Uh,
So, Paris, Paris and Clermont-Ferrand are not the worst wolf form locations, although it is certainly tricky when you have so many hunters around you. If I were Dracula, I would
Clermont-Ferrand,
be tempted to wolf to a port, put down a fog maybe,
if you have
or
it.
maybe that's a little too early to try that. Maybe wolf to somewhere less expected. Although the problem is
Alright.
trying to be sneaky. Oh, we got
It
an
was an
aristocratic.
aristocratic. That's good news for Drac.
Yep, save those fighting vamps for later. Paris it's getting risky there. Yep.
Yeah, Paris is definitely the better case scenario for Drac because that means that he could now will form like to Nuremberg, Frankfurt, Cologne, possibly up to Amsterdam so that he can then go to the UK. Uh, or he could just move to the hut of, and since Seward's off the rail line, he'd have to. Oh, okay.
So we have our expected
Now,
wolf form. Hello,
yeah.
Strider. Welcome to the viewing public. Welcome to the audience. We got a great game going here.
Thanks for your hacking support yesterday, by the way.
Yeah, I have headphones on. Thanks. I don't know if you have any fancy headphones, but just trying to
Yeah, I
show
have a
things in the
headset.
yeah.
I mean,
Wait.
it's nothing super fancy, but
Oh, maybe Strider says they might be on my end. Well, all right. While we're waiting here, I'm gonna check my sound to make sure my audio is coming through my headset.
so what does Gul'daming do?
Yeah, I'm good.
So we know that Gul'daming and Mina both have horses. Seward also has a horse. Did he show a horse? Did Seward show a horse? So far as I can remember, no. Seward so far has not shown a horse. And if he did have one, presumably he would have shown it by now. He would have horse rolled to try to get into Bordeaux or to Barcelona. He would have horse rolled to get into Toulouse,
That would
perhaps.
explain. It's possible that then Helsing um, drew
The
two
third one.
horses and was going to Marseille to do a trade with Seward. Although that does make me wonder why
Well,
Seward went to Geneva rather than
well, he
just
doesn't
wait
have
in
two.
Marseille.
Well, he does not have two. Both Gul'daming and Mina have shown them. So,
Oh, all right, you're right. Yep.
so
So, but
no,
he could have
that's
one to give away.
yeah. Let me see. What sort of stuff do they have? Okay, Mina's holding the last dogs. We have two pistols, two holy bullets gone. All the garlic gone. So sorry, Scott Sword, but your crops are ruined.
Yeah, I mean, crops are this kind of waste of hard-grown food there, throwing away the garlic like that.
Yes, especially since not only did he throw away the garlic, but also the garlic wreaths.
Yeah,
Two out of the three at least.
Scott and Jordy work hard on that. Don't spoil your food, kid.
Uh,
So,
the
so
oh
Paris.
not no Paris. That means it's not Clermont-Ferrand.
So we are sure that that space was cleared, right? Or well, that space was not cleared.
Yes, it was
Because it
where that
was
rumor token is. It was next to La Havre.
Barcelona, Hyde, then Wolf to
Then at
Bordeaux.
Saragossa, then Wolf, then then
Ah,
it
you're
move
right.
one.
You're right. So it has to be
So,
Nantes, Clermont-Ferrand, and then a Wolf from Clermont-Ferrand.
yep, there you go.
All right. So we have a rumor token in Nantes. What could that card be?
I mean, I would imagine it's another vampire due to the fact that there's a rumor token.
A new vampire. Okay.
Does he use the planned ambush? I wouldn't. It's just a typical day ambush. I would save that for a more serious fight.
I agree.
Especially if he has a stake. Uh, if he has a stake, why on earth bother? I I mean, he would have to play kind of silly uh to die, yeah. And sewers nearby, so if necessary, you can resort to sewer healing.
Claw and a punch. Okay, that's a
Oh,
win for Dracula right there. I'm good with that. Mina takes 2 damage. She does not escape.
hmm. Although, come to think of it, I actually doubt that he has a stake. Reason being that she has a dogs and she has a horses. So why the third item, especially with Mina, tends to be a conventional weapon. So
Yeah,
therefore,
it's definitely unsafe to go out without a conventional weapon. We got a mesmerize and a dodge.
uh,
Okay,
okay,
makes sense.
Drac missed out on a potential plotting.
Yep. Yes,
So
he did. But I can't blame him for trying to mesmerize in that situation. If I were Mina, I'd be tempted to leave.
no, no, or can I? Uh,
So now, do we see another mesmerize, or do we see a, a claw? Okay,
Claw.
an escape.
Okay,
All
so
right,
took 4 damage. Uh,
that's pretty standard, but I would call that a win for Dracula. 4 points is not on the
yeah,
good end of what's expected.
yeah. 4 damage. Like if the hunter is playing for escape and such, it's rather ambitious to aim for more than 4 point damage. Uh, so, sometimes it happens, but
I like wolfing from Clermont-Ferrand a lot more than I would have liked wolfing from Paris. Paris isn't bad either, but there's a lot of having to check
I mean,
Spain and
under
some of
the
Italy.
circumstances, I partially disagree there. Uh, oh, she did have a stake. No conventional
Lucky that
weapon.
there's no that she didn't run into
Uh,
a spy. Dangerous.
well, she has dogs there, so I suppose actually, when you are carrying dogs around, it's actually it's definitely much safer. The only thing that can harm you for not having a conventional weapon what when you have dogs is a bodyguards or a mob. Uh, Mob is like, whatever. Bodyguards is the hard punisher there. So actually, I understand why he did it that way.
Risky move that pays off. Um,
Yeah,
it is risky, although I mean Mina was jumping onto a space pretty early on, so it. I mean he would have had time to get somebody else there. And as you were saying,
yeah. So long as he's holding on to those dogs, there's not much that can harm her that
yeah,
bad. So from Clermont-Ferrand, the furthest thing he can go to furthest places that are not yet checked are Strasbourg, Genoa, and Brussels if he went east northeast. Uh or he could have doubled back into Spain. With there being no layers yet, Spain is not especially strong, but neither is it all that weak.
That hmm. So when he was in Clermont-Ferrand and doing the wolf form, he wouldn't have known what the hunters would check first. I feel like that kind of makes the well. Do you recall
Under positions,
hunter
yeah.
positions? Yeah.
Seward was in Geneva at the time, and Mina was in Bordeaux, having just uncovered where he wolfformed to the previous time. Uh,
Hmm.
Gulami only just moved to Zurich, checking, which is a very good check on his part. Nice done. As for the yeah, I suppose that actually is another spot going down through Marseille, Milan. Uh, plus he's getting to
Verukhamania
a
would be
bit.
tempted by Iberia. Gyro says if he's Drac, he'd be in 41, which I guess would
Uh,
be
he
41.
would have to he would have to
Yes,
go he would have to go to Strasbourg first, as that's 3 spaces away from Clermont-Ferrand.
right. So he's saying that he would be in 41 now.
Yeah, that's definitely a thought. It's definitely something that I would consider, but I mean, we'll see. I honestly would have had Seward check Strasbourg, uh, just see if that's the case. Because you can't go clearing the trail all day. Uh, Eventually you gotta catch up and, well, do your stuff, you know? Okay. Discarding a rifle. That's the first rifle discarded. So Mina should probably stay in supply for a day, to fill in for the lost stake. Especially since Drac now knows that she doesn't have a weapon. Uh, Not even a heavenly host. If she goes in combat again, she doesn't have anything but the typical but punch dodge escape.
Yep,
She needs to find something else.
yep. She definitely needs to resupply before. Okay,
Going, I
interesting.
suppose, advanced
How about
healing
a mob?
plus.
Mob.
Uh, I expect. Well, you might as well make. I might actually. What I might do is I might. Uh, Instead of resting with Mina, I might do a trade. Have the Seward search it with all his gear, and then they redistribute things.
That would make sense. It also wouldn't surprise me if she did that because she wants them both to heal simultaneously, just for efficiency's sake. Or do a scan. There's a lot of things you could do with
Okay,
Mina and Seward together.
yeah, choosing. However, he's choosing to do a trade from Seward with Seward initiating it. Which yeah, it's good to just make use of what you already got. Possibly giving her horse to Seward. So that he can move around faster. I mean, I definitely would.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely. Um, this is not the this is not like an ideal scan location, right? Because there are multiple other regions that Dracula could have gotten to, but it's possible
which
that he would have stayed in Gallia. So certainly
Well,
a scan's not the worst
yeah,
idea here.
I seriously doubt that that would be the case. I mean, from Clermont-Ferrand, that would have to be Wolfram up to Le Havre and then go into Brussels or Strasbourg to Brussels.
Correct.
At the for that to be the case,
Yep.
either that or a
Mina
high
rests.
card, of
She does
course.
not. She does not scan. She rests.
Yeah,
Not crazy. So Dracula's going to get a little more distance between himself and the hunters, which is nice for me. The hunters have plenty of time to clear Clermont-Ferrand if and when they want to. So we're kind of in a little bit of a almost like an intermission to the action of this game right now.
Well, there's gonna be more trail clearing and such.
Exactly.
Uh,
So we'll see how long this respite
hmm.
lasts.
Yeah, there's. And you recall that second newspaper earlier. That would be nice to have around. Uh,
JB Philly is in the house.
what are you doing in there, JB?
Gotta let the tension build up again.
Yeah, garlic wreath and a holy circle. Can't blame him for tossing those away.
All right. Oh yeah, JB Philly's looking for a game. Got lost on his way to his game.
Uh, interesting.
Well,
Interesting choice. Uh, I might have checked Strasbourg first.
he's got to be trying to
Uh,
feel out his opponent. Roscoe Misthios does like Barcelona. And I think that Randiv is thinking, okay, I know this guy. I know he likes Barcelona. Let me go right straight to there. But nope, it is not. That is not where our boy Dracula is right now.
however, oh, vampire there.
Okay.
Nice. That buys the hunters a bit of extra time.
Yeah, I can't say I love that on Team Dracula, but we'll take it. Slow the hunters down in the search a little more.
Uh, do, does Randa search Clown friend? And you have dogs to defuse quite a few different things.
Yeah, you may
If
as
I
well. Although
if
honestly,
I'm
I
to
would be
make a
tempted to
guess,
do some scanning with Mina. I'd want to just start
to
scanning Germany and Spain or Iberia.
to to make a guess, this is gonna be a soil.
Oh,
There's a
okay.
spy, so spy got gobbled up by the doggies. Nice,
I'm a
good
little bit
stuff.
bummed that we didn't ambush with that. Get rid of the dogs. But,
And apparently Seward gave her another steak. So
so we know who their designated trail cleaner is. She is the Mina is like I'm just envisioning her like riding a street sweeper, just like going over every encounter on the entire trail, while the hunters go, while all the boys go off on their fighting adventure.
yeah, so
I
I
am Robot.
suppose considering what he did today, the next thing to do is move Seward to Saragossa. That's the only other location in Spain. Well, no, I suppose he could have gone to Santander. Huh.
Now, so if Seward does that, I'm gonna be pretty happy as a Team Dracula guy because it's spending quite a bit to rule out one particular direction. If Dracula's not in that direction, that's a lot of time wasted.
Hmm. I suppose Mia will just rest here, won't she? Clear the encounter. Doesn't have anyone with her to scan. Not in a big city, so why supply?
Mina on a Zamboni. Brrr. Yep, that's exactly what I'm thinking of. I have to assume Mina
Hmm.
heals here, right? There's nothing else to do.
I would assume so myself.
Sure.
Unless, that is, she is holding it something that's bad for horse economy. That's the one thing that I could see her doing otherwise.
Yep, that's possible. Makes sense. So we have 3 stakes
Hmm.
in the discard. Should be what? One
Yeah,
more? One more stake
yeah.
out?
Mina's holding the last one. She showed it at Clone.
Let's see. Okay, well that's good for Dracula to know. He can start putting vamps down near other hunters with impunity to some degree. 2, 3, 4. So Dracula's now going to be 5 spaces away from Clermont-Ferrand. It's not the worst place to be.
Yeah, although if he went the Spain route, then it's not as good for him. Okay. We got any dawn actions? Apparently not. At least not yet.
Not yet. No allies yet. That's kind of interesting.
That's not all that unusual. After all, there's only 3 ally cards in a deck of 75. So really, there's only a 1 in 15 that you'll get even one. Or no, not even that. A 1 in 25 that you're gonna get one. Uh,
Um, you're saying
5, 6.
there's a 1 in 25 chance now
No.
over. Oh, I see. On uh, on the initial draw, 3 out of 375.
Yeah.
The odds of drawing one of them with all the supplies that have happened is bound to be a lot less than that when you do
At this point,
the combination.
granted,
But I don't know the math
at
offhand.
this point, granted, there is a 6% chance, approximately, slightly more than that, but approximately 6% chance that he'll find one now.
You're talking
Assuming he's,
per supply,
yeah,
right?
uh, under the current odds, since we've gone through 25, just over, and when you take away 1/3 of that, it increases a little
Nice.
bit.
Every failed search is a win in my book. And by search, I mean every failed, every move that doesn't result in finding the trail is a win in my book. The crowd is wondering why there's no scan. Crowd really wants a scan.
Well, well, at this point, scanning Gallia is really not all that productive.
I agree, and I don't mean to say that the crowd wants a scan of Gallia right now, but Strider says he's in Italy, Genoa, Florence.
Definitely could be. Definitely.
So there's a. I wish I could remember the name of this, but I did poli sci undergrad, and I remember learning about some politician, I think from Minnesota, like 100 years ago, who would answer every letter he received from a constituent saying he should do whatever, raise taxes, lower taxes, whatever. He would answer every letter with, "You may be right," signed Senator whoever. So to Strider saying, "Oh, he's in Italy," to you, Strider, my friend, I say you may be right.
Yeah. I think that was a good check to go to Munich. Uh, because, well, it's
It's
actually
tempting.
rather obvious.
Yeah, it's tempting to go
It,
Munich and just book into the east, create that distance.
yeah. I mean, you can just go ahead and scan, but I would just rest. Uh,
So the
why on
crowd
earth would he?
agrees with you, right? The crowd agrees that scanning now in the situation right now is bad.
I
Yeah,
mean,
that doesn't tell us very much. But if you scan Gallia first, it'd be better. Or if you scan a different region right now, it could be quite helpful,
it could be.
like Italy
It,
or Germania.
yeah. Problem is that she can only move so far.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
So I would definitely have Van Helsing check Genoa, because that is definitely a very real possibility. Uh, I mean, of course, like I say Goldaming, I would have him check out Nuremberg. Uh, and then have Seward check Santander as the simply because on the assumption that it's not Nuremberg, of course. I mean, if it is, then I mean, obviously, Seward just starts heading in that direction. Uh,
Interesting that there's no rumor token yet.
supply. Interesting. Well, actually, no, that's not surprising. He spent his second rumor token on Nantes. Remember?
Oh,
He
that's
simply
right.
doesn't
So
have
he's gonna
another
get
one
another
yet.
one in two
On
days? Monday?
discarding a heavenly host. That's the first heavenly host gone. That semi defuses my suspicion earlier that he might have been holding CG, hence why there were some interesting discards earlier. But I, I doubt he would have done that if he was. It was indeed
Ooh,
Spain.
that's funny.
So that's actually good for the hunters. I mean, yes, they have a long trail to deal with, but on the other hand, that's three of them close by, as opposed to just Gul'daming. So,
That's true.
per carriage, perhaps, for Van Helsing,
So
or
now,
Mina.
how many of the hunters get sent down to Spain?
I would say send it both Van Helsing and Mina, uh, to Spain, and while Gul'daming moves down to Marseille, to form like the Med Coast Guard type thing.
Santander. So,
So what we know is that he has
four.
not gone to Saragossa yet, and therefore he cannot have gone to Barcelona. Uh, so from Santander,
So he could be in any of the five southern Iberian cities, basically.
yes and
Although,
no.
although we
Uh,
have to, um, although we have to
it's
assume Granada's
it's.
probably the least, maybe the least likely. Hmm.
I seriously doubt it's Granada. That being, of course, a CG nuke spot. One of the five CG nuke spots in the game. Uh,
Well, I guess my thinking is that if you're trying to keep the hunters off your trail as long as possible, there's a limited universe of spaces to go.
sense of emergency. All right. Intriguing when
I'm hoping she
Drac.
lands on Drac. I would love to see
Well,
Drac take a
keep
stab.
in mind she does still have a planned ambush. Uh, in her back pocket, and
Yep.
she did trade with Seward, giving up her horse, so she does have something that Drac does not know of. Well, no, that was a stake. Unless did Van Helsing and Mina trade? Yeah, so I think Van Helsing will be holding on to that stake now.
Okay, so we have
And
to
what?
assume that Dracula's in Alicante right now, right?
What's that?
We have to assume now that Dracula's in Alicante.
Uh, yeah. In fact, there's no other possibility because they just scanned Bordeaux, and they just scanned Gallia, so there's actually, and since Seward was at the beginning of the day sitting in Saragossa, there's no way that he could have slipped up into France again. So
Au
we know that.
revoir, adios. Interesting.
So yeah, he's unless there's a high card in play, in which case he could be at Granada. Uh, then he is at Alicante, and will likely set down a high card, in my opinion.
So,
Because
well, if you're saying adios now, one, two, three, four, he's taking some risk if he puts down a hide card and stays in Spain right now, because you don't know who has forewarned. And he did say au revoir, so you have to assume he's leaving. So I assume we're going to see him go from Alicante to the Mediterranean Sea, and he's probably going to take advantage of the slide first mechanic to get his wolf form back, and then wolf. Well, he could either just keep booking it east, or he could book it north, or he could use wolf form from Mediterranean and take advantage of the.
Okay, I might actually do a hide first. Uh, with that Seward being delayed, because it would take from a it would take specifically it would take either the second sense of emergency from an Helsing or a chartered carriage from an Helsing to get onto you.
Yeah, I agree. That
Uh,
does change the calculus somewhat if you
so
hide
it's
there.
definitely tempting. Uh,
And if you do get challenged with Mina and Helsing both coming at you, I mean, we know that Mina is not particularly well armed. Um, and if you can play your cards right, maybe you could escape his bat and cause some confusion, or kill a hunter in that situation, depending on what your hard card is. Yeah, it looks like he's taking you up on that. He's going to hide before sailing away.
unless they had already hidden.
Well, he couldn't, right? Because he was in Santander. First move,
I'm saying that
Lisbon.
what if he hid at one of the previous locations and therefore was sitting at Granada instead?
Oh, I see. And was saying au revoir to kind of trick the hunters. I could see that.
I mean, maybe.
That would be clever, honestly.
But at this point, yes, we know that he's at Alicante. Whether with a high card or not, we can't say for sure.
How aggressive do the hunters want to be here? Okay,
Apparently, not much.
not
He's
very.
sending Van Helsing quite possibly to do some trading. Pardon my creaky seat here. Uh, he's not. He's just going for clearing the trail for now. It seems. I
Certainly
would
not
have.
unreasonable with Mina. Mina is their designated trail clearer.
I would have aimed that at. I would have aimed her at Cadiz first. Actually, had Seward deal with Lisbon, since he was already. I mean, she could have targeted anything while Seward takes care of the rest. Maybe.
Uruki says, I were the hunters, I would not want to be aggressive, but then again, I hate combat.
In
Well,
which case,
in fairness,
Izunoki.
if you're Dracula and you're not in combat, that means you're winning. So, can't kill Dracula without combat.
Not always.
How are you going to kill
And
Dracula
that's
without combat? Oh, I guess only with CG
CG
nuke.
Nuke, CG Nuke, uh, son Rufus Smith when Drac has to take another C move and can't land. Uh, there are plenty of ways. There are several ways.
All right, let's see what we got going on here. So the fact that the hunters are still trying to improve their ticket economy makes me feel good as a Dracula fan.
Hmm. Yeah. I think that he's gathering a Glaminga and Van Helsing in anticipation of that wolf form ashore, make him have to stay out at sea a bit longer, potentially. I mean, quote unquote, have to, of course. So, Mina's obviously going to be searching this.
Hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 13. You know what? There's actually reasonable odds for a night supply. That's number, 1, 2, that's number 12 up on top. So 13 out of 45. What do we got?
Soil.
Soil.
All right, I'll take that. I'll take that. I know you don't have a heavenly host.
Yep.
One thing that's
Well,
well, hmm,
and if Stuart has a heavenly host, he can go and vanquish that. Uh, but otherwise, that'll just be some free healing for Jack. If you're Dracula, do you now step into Madrid
I was thinking about that. I might be tempted to, because even
or
with
or
renewed,
Wolfhorn to Barcelona?
because with renewed vigor, you're in trouble with I mean, the hunters could all get there if they did like a walk and then or no, a horse and then a chartered carriage maybe, or sense of emergency and then a regular old rail. I mean, if you went to Madrid here, it's possible that you could have all four hunters on you at once. Unlikely, but possible.
Yeah,
I don't think
I
I would
get the
risk it.
impression that I get the impression that if Van Helsing was holding a shard carriage there, he probably would have used it last turn. Uh,
There's already one sense of emergency out of the in the discard. Oops.
yeah, good question.
Dracula's got to be thinking about it. Okay.
See, it is.
Yep. Makes sense.
Yeah, so that's Mediterranean. So, next question. Do the hunters have money trail to reveal where he goes next? If he doesn't simply Wolfhorn Shore.
Yep. Good question. Or does he just land ashore and go to Cagliari? I feel like Dracula
Uh,
has a lot of decent options here between wolfing to obfuscate, but running the risk of still being in the vicinity of the hunters, going to the CAG and putting down something that you'd like to see mature and take the hunters out of their way, or just book it east or north to, not take on more damage than needed, but still create a lot of distance. Dracula's got a
since he has
tough
a
calls here.
soil about to mature, I think I would be. I think that's my call personally would be to go South Atlantic and head towards the UK slash North Sea. Possibly go for northern Germany in that sense, because Mina and Seward are going to be busy for a while here. It was a hide at Alicante.
Yep, that makes sense.
Yeah, really, it was simply the question. I mean, we knew there was a hide. The question was, where was the hide?
Now, hmm,
So I would supply it with Mina. Just plain and simple. She needs something.
I think she's gonna clear the trail first and then handle the supplying after that.
I think that is honestly the wrong approach, especially since the last spot in question is Granada, a small town, an out of the way small town. Uh, I think that I would have supplied this turn since you have one extra. You do have 1 day to deal with Cadiz. So,
Now, another thing
is
that
Seward going to search this?
yeah, you have to assume he went there because that's what he wanted to do. You could also just keep on
Yes,
relying
but
on the
will
dogs
he?
and the steak.
Okay, so he's searching, but the question for me was, was would he wait till day? Because Alicante has a lot of time. He has a lot of time to deal with Alicante.
Yeah, I agree. And there's not that much useful alternate things he could
Yeah,
be
I
doing.
I personally think that this will be a night fight. Okay, so his bodyguards
Okay,
under the hide.
he's got a
Okay,
rifle.
sure it's going. And what have we got here? Yep,
Okay, a
new
new vamp.
vampire. I suspected as much. Night fight versus a new vamp. So Seward has a horse and he has a rifle. Apart from that, we cannot say.
How many bullets are in the discard? Let's see. One, a two. Only two bullets in the discard.
Yeah, and if anyone's gonna carry that around, it's Seward.
Oh yeah, and it can be quite useful for a new vamp if you punch first and then shoot.
Yes, but how many guns are there? I know we know that he has a rifle, but is it? There's. It's possible that he could be holding two rifles, and he could also be holding a pistol. Yeah, he could just be the firing squad.
I wonder if Seward whether
Okay,
because he has
strength.
forewarned.
Oh.
I bet Seward whether because he had forewarned and wanted to just trigger it. I'm sorry, he wanted to trigger fog. I wonder if he was sensing fog and wanted to just get
I
it
mean,
out of
that
the
would make
way.
sense. I mean, fog definitely would make sense, as since as we discussed at the time, renewed vigor was a threat.
Yeah,
Uh, of getting even three of them on him, because Goldamin could have horsed down to Marseille, and then a charred carriage gets him exactly there. So it would have taken them two charred carriages or a second sense of emergency, but they could have gotten on three on him.
yeah. Aruki was asking if you would escape there, go for the kill, and Aruki was leaning escape as well.
I Yes, I agree that escape is the way to go there.
Certainly now that the high card's in the
Uh,
way, all you got to do is get Mina there and use the stake, right? You may
yeah,
as well. Quick, easy, then supply with Mina after. There's still quite a bit of
yeah.
time left in this game, but the hunters do need to figure out where Dracula is going.
So what will? There aren't many cards in the left. A hoax.
Oh, I like that. So now that stake has been wasted on a hoax, it can't be used to kill that new vamp. I really like that.
Yeah, that's not good for the hunters. So now that Mina has to supply before she goes on.
Although,
Uh,
oh yeah, so
honestly, I would be tempted to go back into Spain. Wolf form to Saragossa, something like that.
interesting.
I would
So
be tempted to try it.
yeah, honestly,
Uh,
that's not the worst idea. Since Mina is so weak. Okay, he's
okay.
sailing.
Continuing. So, do they have a money trail? If they do, the hunters. I mean, they're not looking great, but things aren't. Uh, but they can start going to intercept him.
Yeah, I mean the hunters are going to be if they could figure out where he's going quickly. I mean they're relatively unharmed. They're only at five. Drax only at 5 influence points. With a good renewed vigor, they can get a good crew onto him. There's still time. Okay, we have gone through the entire item deck.
Yep.
So if the hunters want to get that heavenly host back, now's their chance.
I would have Suri go to Granada. Have him address that.
Uh, well, I think I agree with that.
Or
Maybe you have Seward
Either that
try to
or
fight the
either that,
vamp,
yeah, either that or do a daytime fight.
and then have Mina
But Mia needs
supply.
to supply.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mia needs to supply here. I mean, granted that I would expect something like a saboteur at this point. Draka's only gone on to make 2 layers, so at this point, with what's left of Dracula's encounters, uh, I would expect in a place like Granada, when there's a vampire and a hoax nearby,
Huh.
I might actually throw down a saboteur.
Interesting
Uh,
that I certainly agree a saboteur would make sense here. I will say it's a little strange to me that Seward supplied in Alicante. Not sure I expected that. Wonder what he's going for.
it's possible that he forgot he was in a small town
Could be.
and was hoping for a steak.
Or maybe he's fishing for CG. I'm not sure. It's a little bit odd.
Yeah. So it appears that we don't have a money trail.
Yeah, certainly if I had a money trail, I'd be inclined to use it and know the direction. Tamina goes to
Yeah,
Granada.
I can't say I like that. Because she could end up night searching, a vampire now.
That'd
Uh,
be great.
from a mirror perspective, yes.
And certainly if there were two vampires here, I mean, Mina and Seward would certainly not be able to deal with both of them.
Well, I mean, it's not necessarily true.
I mean, if one was an aristocratic,
Uh,
if the one in Grenada was an aristocratic, I could see that. Oh, Aruki says that maybe Seward's digging for money trail. That would make sense. That would make a lot of sense.
I'm not sure about a lot of sense, but uh, okay, Sword rests. What? There's actually
Certainly,
15 Drac events. There's actually 15 Drac events in the discard now, so there's actually less than a 25% chance that a Night Supply gives Drac something.
hmm.
Barely less than. Uh, uh, or actually, there's slightly more than 25. Wait, sorry. It's practically exactly 1 in 4 that it's a Drac event. Okay, oh, giving Seward something.
Hmm.
What does Enhausen hit? Lucky find perhaps to fetch a steak? I don't know.
I mean, a planned ambush could certainly be helpful if Seward had holy bullets. Um,
Yeah, very true.
although you still wouldn't really want to take that fight. I guess you would take that fight at dawn or during the day phase. That
Yeah,
could be effective.
is what at is whatever is at Granada killable by dogs? hmm. Let's see. Another soil.
Ha ha! All right, I'll take that. Keep on healing up Dracula.
Honestly, that's not surprising.
Nope.
After all, with the other soil, there were some cards discarded, so there's bound to be like some rats, saboteur, possibly the other mob, things of that nature discarded.
Red
Uh,
loves his jar of dirt. Get those bloody dogs on a leash.
yeah.
Strider in the chat says that says Misthios is copying Fangs. It's kind of point. You did do the same thing when you were in the East, about to sail last time around.
No, I think that what he's referring to is is back in the American Regionals tournament. I did it much the same thing with a Barcelona play, and just played ring around the at the time the ring around the Seward, as at the time Seward in Madrid was the meta, and then went to Mediterranean Wolfhorn ashore and then just evaded him. Uh, I think he's referring to that actually.
Randiv says, "Get that dirt in a jar." That's what
So
that's what the Demeter's for. Demeter's for.
yeah, a third sea move makes sense because Tyrrhenia and South Atlantic, neither of those are all that attractive.
Oh, Strider says he was indeed referring to your game yesterday, as I suspected.
Oh, uh, I suppose you're talking about in terms of the desecrated soils.
Yeah, you had Soil
Yeah,
in Bucharest and Spain.
I yeah. Desperate times called for desperate measures.
So now our boy
Which
Dracula could either be in the North Atlantic or could be in the Ionian Sea.
yeah, and this is definitely a good time to use my trail
Oh yeah.
because I mean last turn would have been fine too, but huh. I wonder if Mina has hypnosis. Local rumors. Huh.
Okay. Well, we know that was not going to come to anything.
Yeah, shame they weren't. Shame they weren't in Genoa instead. That would have been nice.
Yeah, I'm quite relieved that they were not.
So, hmm. Do you just let this mature? Just let 3 points come through and just go off after wherever he is now?
Okay.
Well, apparently not.
Yeah, I was gonna say I wouldn't because that's a whole extra day you have to look for him and get hunters on Dracula.
Yes, but at the same
Here,
time, moving now is one less day you have to travel. One
right,
less day's worth of traveling distance
right.
closed in. So it kind of evens out in the case of the new vampire with the unrumored new vampire. Uh,
Yeah, but I mean, travel when you don't know where Dracula is doesn't really mean much. Okay. All
this
right.
does that
Well
actually
played.
makes
Well
it.
played.
Yeah, this that does make it look like a Holy Bullets play.
Yeah.
The fact that he opened it with a rifle. I mean, I suppose he may opened with a rifle because he had to because that's what he showed to the bodyguards. So maybe, maybe not.
Yeah, I have to assume this is indeed a Holy Bullets play. So and it seems like Misthios is sensing that as well.
Claws,
Okay.
knife. Okay, well that's some good damage on both ends.
So now, even with the fangs, a Holy Bullets is deadly. So Dracula's incentive is probably to maybe mesmerize here
Either that or play a
or
second strength if he
strength
has it.
or strength.
Yeah. The thing is, Sewer could also have a second knife. Or could he? Let me see. Well, I suppose at this point he could have practically anything. Uh,
If I'm Dracula and I have all the cards I want, I think I want to go mesmerize. Then I want to strength. And then I want to fang.
no, I disagree because I would want strength and then mist. Because really, this vampire's job is survive. Get the points.
I'd like to take the fangs and then mist in the last round.
Okay, mesmerize.
Okay, I like
All right,
that. So the
as
dodge
do it.
is
That's something of
smart,
that's something of a draw, in my opinion. So
right? Because here a
I don't mind.
you can, I guess here the vampire needs a strength.
However, actually, that mesmerize does mean that a fang would actually make it survive the holy bullets.
Although I suppose here,
Due to
right, you were
being
saying a mist would be good. A mist actually would be good here because now the vampire doesn't know if Seward's going to play the gun or
the
the
knife,
knife.
yeah,
Strength, perfect.
rang.
It's the knife.
Went for the
So
knife.
now you can either
Okay.
mist
So
here,
now you play Fang.
or you can fang against the
Now
presumed knife.
yeah, because actually, technically, you don't know. Since the Iron Pile is reshuffled, you actually don't know whether Seward could be holding a crucifix. And that'd be rather annoying, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would be
With both
clutch.
strengths and mesmerize down on the table, I would do rifle here and now.
But here's the problem. I don't think that
If
Seward has drawn since the reshuffle. Drawn an item at least. Right, so we're
okay,
fanging,
Fang,
and
and
it's a
it
dodge.
dodged.
Okay. So here you
Okay,
have to use mist.
uh, yeah, because
No more
or play the
strength.
second Fang. There's another Fang. There's another Mesmerize.
But here's the problem. You have to miss. Because if you have a fang against the knife, you're going to go down to 1 health. And if you do a fang against a holy bullets with a gun, you're going to go down to 1 health. So whatever you do here, your fang is going to be inferior regardless to a mist. You can mist
Well,
here if
there
you
is
have
the
it,
debate. There is also the debate on. But here's the thing.
or mesmerize.
Keep in mind that there was only one heavenly host discarded. Who is likely to be holding one?
Okay, we escaped the
Okay,
mist against the
so
knife. Perfect. Well played, Misthios. Love it. Love the way that went. You got a 3 health John Seward, well armed, but you can take him. I like the way this is going. That worked out quite well from my boy Dracula. Neither
it
Mina nor
did.
Seward are in a great place to go Dracula hunting right now. Well, obviously Seward can heal quick, so who knows how long it'll be. But you've definitely slowed him down. Um, and certainly, if that vampire matures, you've slowed the hunters down. You, you've you've put even more pressure on the hunters. That was a great combat for Dracula right there.
It was a good one. I'm not sure I would say it great, but it was good to be sure. After all, it basically it would have been ended up slightly better if he had got on a better timed Fang to. Oh, Mia's showing an escape route now instead of the planned ambush. Evidently, Van Helsing took that from her at some point. That's interesting.
So this is interesting. So here, I like the idea of sending two
Yeah,
hunters in because two hunters in can kill the new vamp a lot more easily, even a poorly armed hunter. Um,
yeah. And
she
in
really does
fact,
have nothing.
here's what I expect. I expect that Seward will do a trade with Mina so as to give her a tool. Uh, I would guess the knife, honestly, and then Mina searches it to 2v1. It's
Yeah. Well, I mean, if Mina still has the planned ambush, which
she
presume
doesn't.
she doesn't, yeah, because it's not showing, but
I
that would do it
I
because
I think that I think that Seward is holding the planned ambush now because it has been several turns, I think, since Van Helsing did that trade. The most recent trade Van Helsing did was to Seward. So therefore, by logic, who will have it?
yeah, that would work. Certainly,
Uh,
getting one weapon on each hunter and then using the planned ambush would should
that should do the job.
guarantee, depending,
Actually,
put the knife on Mina, right? Planned
yeah.
ambush with Seward. That
If
should
you put
guarantee
the
a
knife
win.
on, yeah, that would guarantee a dead vamp. Uh, unless somehow you Misthios managed to hack the game so that he can escape round one.
No, only Scots are going to do that. Misthios should try though. Oh, so this is a little bit while back, but Captain Gyro complimented us on our banter, which I certainly appreciate. So Fury of Dracula is fun regardless, even if you're just playing it in total silence, but it just becomes exponentially more exciting when you got good banter with whomever you play with or whoever you're commentating with.
Yeah,
So
that it does. So I think what I would do is this. Van Helsing is like if the ticket situation is fine, just at least trade with either Mina or Seward, even if it's just a bluff. Uh,
Yeah, I agree with that.
oh, Randa's stating the chances he's going for a night supply. This is an intentional one. Let's see what happens. Scarlet Crucifix, and he got something.
Okay, lucky thing. Newspaper
Oh,
reports that does
okay. You
not.
you should have saved that.
I
That's
agree.
the third newspaper, and you knew that that was Mediterranean.
I wonder
Okay, so
how many.
that was a bit of a waste, sadly.
Yeah, and he could have held it too. He had space in his hand. Yeah, if that. I mean, I'm happy. I'm the Dracula cheerleader here, but it would have made a huge difference if that was drawn one turn later. So
Yeah.
it turns out that Night Supply, well, mm, just okay. We got dogs. That doesn't matter.
Okay, but there was no trade. Interesting.
I like. Well, for me, I like that this fight is happening at night. Or wait,
Hmm.
am I missing something?
No, it's waiting for him to choose whether or not to delay Seward.
Oh, I see.
Uh,
I'm loving this fight at night. I mean, Randiv really should have done that in the day. I can't think of any reason why you would want to do this fight at night.
because Mina was not yet here during the day. She used her day action to get here.
Yeah, but you could do it tomorrow. Although I get that there is a bit of a sense of urgency, or there is some urgency now. But
Hmm.
although I suppose if you, yeah, you said with no trade you can't guarantee the win here. Um, to the contrary, oh,
Oh,
heroic
heroic.
leap. That makes
Ah,
sense. Okay.
that's why.
Okay, Randiv, I see what you're doing. Okay, well played, well played. Well,
Now I would say both of them go to Madrid to to fuel up.
so
I mean,
now,
well, actually, no. Seward goes on. He's still fully equipped with a knife, a rifle, horse, and something else. We are assuming a holy bullets.
so
Oh,
honestly,
interesting. He tries to clear out his nonce layer so as to put more obscurity on things. So that seems to say that he intends to land. Wolf form. Yep.
so the interesting thing is this would actually be a great time to go back in Spain if it weren't for the possibility of a scan.
Well, neither. I mean, he would only be able to do Santander.
Yes.
So. I honestly expect that that was Ionian. Or actually, my guess is actually well, no, North Sea versus Ionian. Uh, and he cleared out Nantes as a layer. Honestly, there's just no way of knowing. My trail? Have you found it?
So if you don't have money trail right now, I have to assume you just keep fishing for it. The only alternative would be to just kind of send two hunters west and two hunters east.
What I would do, uh, I would imagine that there's reasonable chances by now that there's an excellent weather floating about. Uh, Position someone.
Pirate
Oh, that's
scouts.
good.
There's the thing, we
Nice.
haven't really seen very many of these
Search
search
events.
events.
Yeah,
So even if
which
you
is
don't draw
actually
the money trail, you have a good chance of drawing hired scouts or a or a an ally.
or actually, yeah. Not Valona oh, that should have been Sophia.
Yeah, I agree. I don't.
Yeah, why Salonica? That was a wolf former shore. Uh,
Is that an accident? Is he confusing the two
I hope so.
cities?
Yeah, that should have been Sophia and Valona if you're gonna just scan the east. Uh,
Yeah, because searching those two would narrow down a lot because it is somewhat unlikely that Dracula would do the obscuring wolf form to Salonika or Athens, especially given the dangers that would prevent from a CG standpoint. So
yeah.
if he
Okay.
had seen
Don't.
that Sophia was clear, I'd almost be tempted to just start sending folks
Okay.
northwest.
All right. That should have been moving to Madrid to supply. In all honesty, not arrest. Uh, I actually would have moved Seward because, like, possibly moved him to check Santander. Uh, just rule out that possibility. He's reasonably armed and admittedly he doesn't have that much health, but I'm pretty sure he has a planned ambush in the event things go sour. In at least in that sense.
Well, he can. Randiv can scan Spain, scan Iberia, and check whether he's in Santander or not right now.
True. Which I don't know whether he will do it, but uh,
Huh. I wonder if someone drew a hypnosis.
well, I mean, it's possible. Let's see.
Nope.
I mean, it's also uh, hmm. Well, no, that isn't. Uh,
Scott says as the plotting thickens. Strider's going back to Gloomhaven. Where to now? You ever played Gloomhaven, Fangs?
no, I haven't.
Me neither. Very well regarded, supposed to be really good. I probably should get on that. I've not played Gloomhaven.
I have more than enough games in my collection already. Don't tempt me.
After Fury of Dracula, what is your next favorite board game? Digital edition or tabletop print edition?
I, honestly, I don't know. Uh, there are just far too many options to single any single one out. Ugh.
Godalming
There
loves
goes a.
dropping Heavenly Host. He is. I think Godalming
So
has lost
one
his
thing
religion,
is
has become an atheist.
one thing that is clear is that CG is not around yet. Uh,
Captain Gyro asks, going down Old Castle Dracula Way. Uh, maybe, although this Dracula does not need the castle.
yes, and neither did I.
We're horsing here. Interesting. Where's
Well, it makes sense to move at least somewhat. With Seward.
Oh, I'm sorry, Seward.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Helsing's picture right now,
Uh,
but it's Seward moving. Certainly, Seward moving right here makes a lot more sense than Helsing moving.
yeah. Uh,
A one. Okay. Did he? Did I miss it? Did he draw like a one horse, or no? I have to imagine if he drew two, he would have gone further north. Huh. Oh, I see. They're just going to supply. Well, now the time pressure is getting quite high, so we have Saturday, Sunday. So the the influence meter does not increase when Dracula places an encounter on Monday, does it? It starts on Tuesday, or does it start on Monday? Do you happen to recall? Thanks. Thanks, you there? Oh,
Yes.
sorry.
Sorry, I need my mic to drown to. But yes, it starts on Monday. I muted it because there's a small stampede going on right outside my door.
Oh, no problem. So Monday, Tuesday. So Dracula's Wednesday move wins the game for him,
Uh,
theoretically, assuming
yes.
that we continue to that all Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are all moves or hide cards.
Yeah.
With
Yeah. There's only 7 cards, drac cards left in there. Odds are pretty good for him getting something. Not a trade. That's what I would have expected. Yeah, Randa's continuing to push his luck. Oh,
I mean, I think this is the
Jonathan
right thing to do.
Harker.
Okay, Harker.
Would make a pretty good ally, as that also flips C spaces.
I don't know if I. Oh, you're. But that means you're still not finding him for another 3 turns. I don't know if I would do
Well,
that.
actually,
I
with
think I'd
with
rather
this,
risk it. I think I'd rather take the search and do what he should have done before and search Sophia. And if he's not in Sophia, then book it north. Book it to. Well, I guess if you went to Ireland, we're gonna know it now. Or we may know it in
not
two
quite
turns.
now.
Not quite now, but although it would be very bold of him to wolf to Galway and then go to Dublin after that.
Yeah, I mean, it may also have been the wolf to Dublin, hide there, now go back to Galway,
But
and
the
then
problem with that
send
is
it.
you can't go anywhere from Galway.
Yeah, even with a feed and a dark hall, yeah, that is
And you're going to be telegraphing your
problematic.
location. So I have to imagine.
Unless actually, wait, no, yeah,
So,
um, yeah, I expect that it's like either like at this point like entering it northern Germany, or it, or he's just off in the east enjoying himself. Oh,
Captain Gyro says Monday, and Strider mentions that he wins in the mature. So, Sunday slide here. Monday slide here. Uh,
yeah, it'll
I
mature
don't.
just before it'll mature just before he makes his last move.
Oh, I
Is the
see.
thing.
That's what he's saying.
So
Got it.
yeah, so you Seward should be good to continue moving. Although, did we see a scan?
Uh,
In
I don't think we saw a scan.
which case, yeah,
Oh, I see. Monday was in response to when the despair token is added. Man, thank you, Gyro and Aruki, for answering that. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff.
okay, so no, it was not go back to Spain.
Well, as the captain of the Drac Cheer team, I am happy that we're still seeing, even at this late hour, bad horse draws for the hunters.
Eh, okay, however, as soon as Jack makes his next move, Jonathan Harker will tell us which direction it was and which sea he landed up from. Eine.
Interesting. So, if it's South Atlantic, I mean,
If it's South Atlantic, then he went
You have to
Either he
assume.
did a bold Ireland play, or he went back into France. If it's Ionian, as I think, then he's off in the east somewhere.
Captain Jaro.
Wax cylinders, that could be handy.
Soon we will know.
He is not hidden, so no Ireland. That gets him that information that little bit sooner. Well, actually, it doesn't really matter. Parker was gonna. Well, then again, if Parker shows us South Atlantic, we have already ruled out Ireland.
Yep. Even if Harker shows us Turanian.
And if Parker shows Trinian, then we know that it was Ionian.
Yep.
And that he wolfed to Sophia, or that were fake wolfed to Athens, which would have been extremely bold.
Rookie Mania is agreeing with you in betting East as well. Randiv's gonna be kicking himself if that wolf form location is Sophia.
Which it almost certainly is.
Because that really
Oh,
changes. Hired scouts. Hmm.
the thing is, if he checks Sophia and it's not there, then that's actually good news for the hunters, because that means that he landed it somewhere in France. And that could mean quite a few different things. But they would all be much closer in. And keep in mind that we haven't seen any renewed vigors, speed telegraphs.
Oh
What?
no 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 no
That
no.
is complete waste.
Ah.
With wax cylinders told you that it wasn't there.
I
My.
mean, I shouldn't be saying no. I want to root for my boy Misthios, and I am. So I am definitely happy that the hired scouts was used in that
Okay.
way. But okay, Turanian.
Well, that
What?
tells him what the scouts would have told him anyway.
Captain Driver says he
Had he used
still
them
could
proper.
have wolfed to Athens, which is also true. The original hired scouts did not technically preclude an Athens, then Valona the next turn, or Salonika. Or no, sorry, not Salonika.
Yeah,
Athens to Valona.
yeah. I did mention that.
Yeah.
That would have been extremely bold. Yes. Oops.
The Striders don't.
Randiv.
Oops. Ah, he caught it. Okay.
Yeah, that
Well,
was just a complete waste due to the wax cylinders.
yeah, I mean, I get it. These things happen.
However,
So, we're going to book
Seward
it
won't.
to the
I'm not
east.
sure. I'm not sure if Seward can even get there in time now. Does he just supply for good events? Mina without a horse almost certainly can't.
These bad horse draws are not helping either.
Although at this point, there's bound to be. I would be very surprised if there's no charred carriage at this point.
You worked out I couldn't have
Uh,
been an island. Yep.
yeah, the scouts definitely could have served better. Okay, at least the ones who are closer in are getting faster rolls. Yeah, I like it, splitting thing up so that he can't slip past.
Hmm. So, at this point, charter carriage, alright.
Nice.
If
That gets her all the way to Marseille.
this would be a great
I
time for
hope she.
Dracula to be in Valona and just go to sea.
I mean, yes, but also not exactly, because if he was going to do that, he should have done that a day or two ago. And actually, Valona into Adriatic Sea, that's actually not exactly the best thing. thing because you have Glamingen and Van Helsing on the right, and we have Mina and Seward coming up on the left very rapidly. So honestly, that's not exactly the best idea in my opinion. Uh,
Yeah, uh, yeah, you're right. They would be able to stop a Naples,
yep. Forgetting Sophia. Zofia,
Zofia.
apparently by Randiv. Rookie mistake. Yep, it happens. But it's not over yet.
Nope, Dracula still needs to survive until Wednesday.
Three. He's Goldaming will certainly go to Sophia to do his best to vanquish the vampire. Because that weirdly enough is actually their first priority. Or actually, let me see. This drag move when Terranian slides off doesn't give him points, but at the next C sliding off gives him his first 3 going to 8. So therefore, yeah, they do need to clear that vamp. It will matter. It'll buy them one more day if they clear it. And honestly, considering that we've seen 2 new vamps elsewhere before he reshuffled his encounter deck, I think we can confidently say that that's a reckless.
Yeah, I would think so. 2 fangs off Heracles would be fantastic. Save Dracula a day.
Unlikely, but possible.
Captain Gyro says that Godalming could, I think it means could kill the vampire and maybe buy some time here, but that leaves the others with work to do. Definitely agree with that.
Yes. Ideally, let me see. Where he is not hidden, where will he be right now? I I honestly would guess that he is currently at Bucharest. My guess would be that he went to Sarajevo, Belgrade, so as to just snipe a couple spots. And then is looping back towards Black Sea coast for in the event he must. Oh, Dracula got something. Or that's actually the second time he's gotten something. Apparently missed
Huh.
the first one.
Wonder what he's got.
Yeah.
This is, I mean, the east part of the board where even like lower tier Drac events can be quite helpful. Um,
Yeah.
custom, certainly a roadblock here can block off the way to Dracula. Okay, we knew that. Or was the customs? Is it custom search that can send you somewhere else when you cross a regional boundary?
It
Or
doesn't send you somewhere else. It simply deals damage to you unless you show your hand. Uh,
that's right. And then of course wild horses can be quite helpful if the hunters are trying to run to you.
yeah, especially now that those actually affect fast horse cards. Uh,
But the movement to deal with the
which
vampire might mean they can't catch Drac in time. Tough spot to be in, says Scott Zord. That
yeah,
Jarvis says that the haul butt from western France all the way to the region I will not say the name of. The east. You need to put Drac in a situation here where if he wants his points on Tuesday night, he has to take a risk or otherwise drive him back to sea before he claims all his points.
yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, keep in mind we still haven't seen a renewed vigor yet. Uh, the hunters could be holding on to one of those, and hidden
Hidden
schemes.
schemes.
Okay, one of the more common ones.
Yep.
Uh, yeah. Okay. Hmm.
So, hmm,
One thing I definitely would have done if I had the option would be a speedy telegraph. That way you can have Van Helsing move first, possibly check Klausenberg, uh, possibly Sajed as well. Depends.
okay, so he's going to Sophia.
Yeah.
Is it a reckless? Interesting.
No. Well,
No.
either no or he's hoping for a night fight. However, Goldamon's been supplying for quite a while, and there's only one stake in the discard. So, I see that as a bit of a risky move.
Yeah, I agree. Although honestly, if Godalming has a stake and he's using it in Sophia when he needs to fight Dracula now, I kind of consider that a win for Dracula.
Yeah, it's in other words that blade eight slices both ways. Uh,
The Aruki agrees. The region that shall not be named. I'm all about that. I salute your commitment enough. Yep, yep. Captain Jarvis says, sorry, I meant
uh,
Dracula's in Frankensteinia. 55 Adriatic walk around.
I think that Surge just stepped into the one and only lair.
Ooh, nice.
Which honestly, okay, considering how long it's taking him to confirm, it would appear he's holding a forewarned.
Yeah, that's the right play right there.
Yeah.
Strider says 55. Okay, Valona then to C again. I would certainly like that.
I would move Van Helsing to Sarajevo. Would be my move.
I think that's right, because if I were Dracula, I would want to stay close to C, and that would tell you, that would give you a sense of whether he was trying to hug the Adriatic or Black Sea coast. I like the Sarajevo move.
Yeah, on the assumption that he rolls a 2, that is.
Yep, which is
Not a guarantee.
not a guarantee.
Yeah.
We've seen quite a few one horse moves here, which has been a very gradual benefit to Dracula as those all rack up. All right, we got a horse.
Okay.
It's a 2. All right, where are you going to go, Helsing?
Okay, good.
I recommend Berlin.
Okay, yeah, that's
How's
another thing
your...
I considered.
Okay. Well, I'm happy about that, because that doesn't really rule out one coast or the other. So, I'm good with that.
Yeah, I think that, uh, especially with this supply here, I think that Seward and Mina are just too far away to help now. Uh,
Their value add is going to be in preventing a quick
Trying to,
Adriatic to Naples or Rome.
yeah.
Strider says 49. I'm not sure if he's agreeing with us that that would have been a good place to check last turn with Helsing, or if he thinks that's where Dracula is now. 1, 2, 3, 4,
You declare a thumb war?
4.
Oh,
He could be
that.
he could be in 49 right now. Chef's kiss. Love it. That is probably the
Wax
best place to have a bat.
cylinders.
Now,
Yeah,
if you are
you.
Dracula, you can just move Godalming into something else that also has something that will delay him. If you can move him into another bat or into a Saboteur, at this stage of the game, that would be exceedingly helpful. Smart play, because honestly, I think that bat is even more useful than a Vamp.
Okay, so what all is in there? Put a bodyguards on a reckless. those are too far back on the trail for them to matter unless he goes to sea.
Yeah.
So
So. hmm. Oh, Jarvis says nephew can't become twice delayed. Silly boy. Fair point. Um,
I mean, double bats does work because you're delayed and the bat token can't take effects. So
yeah.
so you can make hunters ride the Batmobile.
Yep. But Sab wouldn't
Uh,
work. So he has a point about
yeah.
that. That moving Godalming to a Saboteur would not be helpful. But another bat, that would be pretty clutch.
I suppose if he can move him onto that Reckless and bodyguards, that is likely what he'll do.
Um, is that is that? I guess I guess that would be possible if we went
Like Sarajevo,
to
Belgrade,
Valona or yeah, Sarajevo, Belgrade, Valona, Sarajevo. Yeah, that is a possibility.
or yeah, there's actually quite a few spots where it's possible that that's the case.
Yeah, makes sense.
Or for that matter, if that's a hide card right there, that's not impossible. All right.
All right, we are in Fury mode. Dracula's angry, and hunters won't like him when he's angry. Another rumor token just to be a little bit gratuitous.
Yeah, just for funsies. So, where does Laman get shoved? My guess would be Salonika.
Well, Valona,
Okay, not
nothing
not
there.
far off. Well, that's
Okay.
actually useful
Yeah.
for the hunters to know.
So has he?
I would actually get Seward Moon because what if he was at Sarajevo last turn and just moved to Zagreb where until last. So Seward actually may yet be able to play a role here,
Yeah, certainly
especially if there's a.
if Dracula's trying to go west, yeah, Seward could be helpful. And I mean,
I would have gone Milan, either that or Zurich. Same difference between the two at this stage. Unless, what if he has a chartered carriage for next turn?
charter carriage, one, two, three, four.
Genoa is
Yeah,
actually further along than Milan. In that particular situation.
certainly. Yeah, if Dracula, yeah, that could be helpful. I think that would be helpful in this situation. If you renewed vigor, if you charter carriage. If I were Randiv in this situation, I would probably do that. Assuming Dracula doesn't go to sea.
Problem is, I might have considered doing renewed vigor with simply Gul'daming and Van Helsing there to chase him sooner.
Yeah, I agree.
Uh, so it's making you think that he doesn't have it. Okay, well in that case I would go Belgrade, see if and when he was there.
Bucharest.
Okay.
Okay, you know what the rumor token is. Again, won't really matter. So Sofia,
Sofia,
Sarajevo, Belgrade, uh, Bucharest,
and then
Constanta, Varna.
Constanta Varna,
Now
possibly
he's
a
either
high,
gonna now he's either
or
gonna
other way
hide or go
around.
back to Sofia.
Or other way around. Varna, Constanta, Bucharest, Belgrade, Sarajevo.
Oh yeah, um,
It's possible for it to be the opposite, the
ain't
way
that
around.
funny?
Yeah.
Strider says Randiv is too slow for me with movement. I am dozing off constantly. Strider says now he is in 56.
So at Varna.
Jordy
Okay.
agrees with 56. Captain Gyro says when he and I played, we went like 3 hours and 50 minutes.
Sense
Strider.
of emergency.
All
Okay,
right, they're
that's
trying.
okay. So that gets her to Zagreb.
If I'm Dracula here, honestly, I think I would rather just, you know,
What? Why on earth did she only move 2?
I don't get that.
He can't have gone to Munich, man. What are you
And you're not
doing?
even blocking him because he's going to get the wolf form back next turn anyway, right? So even if you're assuming that Dracula is in Zagreb, he can just wolf over you next turn anyway. So you're not blocking him.
Yeah.
But honestly, if I were Dracula right now, I would love the prospect of being in Varna and then just sailing and letting the vampires deal. Oh, interesting.
Okay.
Letting the vampires do it.
So
Although
that's
now,
a fog out of the way. Uh,
although now maybe a hide. Now that you know, okay, Harker.
it was Varna
Varna. Okay,
first.
so he did go west. That's kind of important for the hunters to know. So
Maybe yes, maybe no. He could have also gone Galatz and Hyde because we haven't had wax cylinders recently. Yeah, in fact, he used it for deduction, so there could be a Hyde and they can't know. I'm guessing actually that he's at Galatz with a Hyde. And now it
now
went
would
to
be in
Klausenberg.
Klausenberg.
Yeah, that's my guess. Alright, if you got Renewed Vigor, you have to play it now.
Yep.
Otherwise, okay, Speedy Telegraph. That's good because, at least for the sake of Van Helsing being able to draw something first, possibly get an ally to search
Long
Long
night.
Night.
That's funny.
Okay.
Strider's taking Strider's dinging Randiv for searching Bucharest, which I think is a fair ding. Searching
Yeah,
Bucharest was not going to
that was
make a
that was not
difference.
going to change anything.
Yeah.
So that was just a mistake. So first and foremost, have Van Helsing supply, so that we can get an event. Hopefully, I suppose ideally like an Aggie. So that you can, because let me see, how many scouts have we had? We've had
2?
we've actually only had 2. Wow.
How many of those there in the deck? 3 or 4?
There's 4.
4.
So there's 2 scouts left. There's 2 allies left. There's also we've had all the newspapers already. There's also local rumors left. We've had only 1 local rumors. So if Van Helsing were to draw local rumors, it would
That would be
show
helpful.
us. Yeah, that would
Extremely
definitely
helpful.
be nice. That would flip over Constanta, and that would flip over wherever he went next. Okay, Seward moving. Without renewed vigor, that's just useless. Sorry. He should have drawn as well. Yeah, unless there's a second vampire lair that I'm not aware of, then the game ends at this turn. Sorry, but that's just no use.
That would be kind of funny if there were another vampire lair.
Yeah.
You got one guess, Ganalming.
Which is why Van Helsing should go first. We do have
Yeah.
see Telegraph up. Mia could also help a little bit in the event she has a hypnosis.
Gyro says hiding in 22. He did go for castle just as I thought. He wants castle for GG. Could you? I assume what he means is is hiding in 22, then 28.
I think he means the other way around. Go to 28, then 22, then hide. Most recently.
The sun is setting on our Prince of Darkness, says Misthios.
Yep,
Misthios
it's
is a
looking.
little bit. Let's. Yeah, Misthios is not a huge fan of extended games. He's found himself in a decent number of this tournament. Okay. There was some
And
speculation that Dracula had gone to 59, that is Zagreb. That's now been put to rest. As you
all
were
right, Van
saying,
Helsing.
Van Helsing's got to search. Nope, Godalming,
Uh,
and he draws a 1.
so
I
so
think that's got to be
so
game.
unless he's at Sarajevo, then or went back to Sofia.
Uh,
Well, except that's a lair.
the
So.
rats. Okay, well that's
Yep,
game.
that's game.
GG
Yep.
Misthios. Well played, teammate. That is a win with. If he does go to the castle, that's a win with a perfect score, perfect full health.
Unfortunately, that's not how it works. The castle healing doesn't take effect until after the full turn.
I thought that
So a
was
game ends
changed.
if
Wasn't that changed in the
that
beta?
was it.
I believe that was one of
Well,
the changes made in the beta.
I suppose we shall see.
Yeah. It was one of those nice touches because it doesn't matter for anyone but people who play tournaments. So it was nice of. I'm pretty sure the devs did add that. It was a nice little gift to the Fury of Dracula
All
Digital
right,
Edition diehards
just
like ourselves.
yeah, just go ahead and make it a bit more fun by just night supplying with everyone. Try to get a scout to at least make you be able to truthfully say you knew where he was in the end.
Did you wolf to the castle in your last move? Do you know if the healing happens before or after the 1 damage from wolf form? That I actually
Oh,
don't know.
long night. So it turns out that my prediction seems to have been accurate. I think it was Galatz, Hyde, and now Klausenberg.
Yeah. Yep, that was. Looks like that was the path.
It's possible that was Belgrade in between. Roadblock. I wonder what the
None of
last
this
one that he was
matters,
holding
but
on to.
yeah.
I wonder what the last one that he was holding on to was.
Calsa for the win.
Yeah.
This is Dracula's swamp. Get out of the swamp. Point up the roadblocks. Put a big sign.
Sadly, there were definitely quite a few ways Randiv could have played better. But well, tournament pressure can be immense. I myself don't tend to get all that much
Okay.
in terms of that.
So, real quick, because the crowd is starting to thin, people are heading out of the stadium, leaving their seats, right, even before the game's officially over. So, for everyone who's still watching, thanks for watching the stream. It's been a pleasure sharing this game with all of you. Your comments have been incredible, and GG, well played. All right.
No RV or CG.
Yikes.
Yeah, that's rough. Oh, well, he's definitely not
Oh,
getting the healing that way.
no, you wanted to lair that and then go to the castle.
Well, whatever.
Whatever. 1 point difference.
Yeah. 14 HP victory for Drac.
Cool. Well, congrats, teammate. You crushed it. And thanks of our my friend. It's been a pleasure streaming with you. I look forward to hunting you come Tuesday night.
Well, I shall do my best to repeat your teammates' feat, so as to, and in fact, to get it with 15 HP, so that so I strike back with venom.
Well, all right then. I'm gonna cut the stream. Thanks everyone. Great game. We'll catch you next time.